Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 187 is brought to you by Michi Dickerson, Montez Bush, and Varvar, some of our newest Patreon patrons. This week, me and Sergio and Chuy are going to go over our thoughts on the E3 Nintendo Direct, and we'll talk about the lack of Animal Crossing and how we felt about the Direct. So, Chuy, how you doing in your echoey room?
I'm doing pretty well. Things are all packed up in this room. I'm saying goodbye to the studio where we recorded over 100 episodes of Haken
Wow.
Wow.
here.
Aww.
It's kind of emotional, actually. I was just thinking, the first episode I recorded in my bedroom, and literally I didn't have a mic or anything. I just used like my laptop mic, and it was just me.
Oh my gosh.
And it turned out okay.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take a picture.
Oh, we already did. We
Okay.
definitely
Nice.
went through, took pictures. I mean, this room, it was a complete mess when I did it, but it's fine. Totally fine.
Well, Sergio, how are you doing?
Hi, Nina. I'm doing pretty good. Very good day. Very, very good day. Lots of surprises, lots of good moments today. Yeah, it's been pretty awesome.
Good. That's awesome. All
But
right.
yeah. So, I mean, of course, the big thing we need to talk about today is the Nintendo Direct, and we're going to start with the most obvious piece of news here as far as, an Animal Crossing podcast will go, but there was a real lack of Animal Crossing news in this Direct. I guess I wanted to open it up with both of you. How did you feel about the lack of Animal Crossing news? Nina, do you want to kick us off here?
Oh, man. I mean, I think I predicted it. I'll have to go back to our notes, but I'm pretty sure I did.
It sounds like something you would predict.
That's very true. And even though I did predict it, I'm still very sad. I wasn't really feeling the Direct, and so by the end, I kind of just knew it wasn't coming, and so everything felt super lackluster, like as an echo of that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I get that. So, I mean, even though you predicted it, you're still disappointed in that.
Look, I don't get my hopes up often, but I'm in need of some Animal Crossing.
Yeah. So, Sergio, I guess how did you feel about it?
Yeah, I expected no updates really for Animal Crossing, which is unfortunate. I mean, I wish I was wrong, but yeah, I was not expecting it, so I wouldn't say I was disappointed. Again, which just wasn't expecting it. I think that Direct was pretty good overall. I think it kind of makes up for everything. I mean, I know we are huge fans of Animal Crossing. It would have been awesome to see it, but overall, I thought it was pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like Sergio and I probably had the bigger of the predictions, obviously saying that it would at least be there to some extent. Hopefully, Zelda kind of crossover items or characters would be coming to Animal Crossing.
Yes.
Doesn't seem like that's the case at all for
Yeah.
now. But I mean, overall, I don't think I actually minded too much. And part of it is kind of a sad reason, and it's just kind of like I need a break from seeing all the negativity around every Animal Crossing update. So I feel like a little bit relieved to some extent. Like, instead of seeing negativity around what the update is itself, the negativity is more like people who are really passionate about the game and wishing they saw something. And I'm like, that to me feels a lot better. That longingness, I guess it brought me back to the longingness of the new Animal Crossing Switch prior to knowing anything about New Horizons,
Yeah.
So in some ways I miss those days because, there was a lot we didn't know. There were so many mysteries. We were all really hotly anticipating what could be, what was to come. And, now that it's here, and a lot of us have, had our fun with the game, kind of, I guess our playtime's depleting a little bit. We're not so into it anymore and are now looking for that next update. And I'm just like, I don't know, I kind of appreciate those times when we can just like take the game slowly and all kind of hope together. I like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Chewy, I don't know. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty dark to me. You'd rather us have nothing than to complain?
No, well, I don't know.
You're
I
like an
guess it just
angry
feels like
headmaster.
it feels kind of like a bummer when we get, some update and the bulk of the discourse around it is just people who are like pretty upset about what we're getting,
Yeah.
And I understand, like, we had big expectations for what these updates could be. The beginning updates definitely set us up for those big
Yeah, true.
expectations. When we have cool characters added, like Pascal and Jolly Red and other cool new things happening, it's just like, we're bound to get excited. But now I'm just like, the next update's probably going to be just like a Nook shopping thing that we can get,
Yeah.
And when it's that again,
Mm.
it's just going to be the same kind of negative discourse around it. And I'm like, is that distracting from the nice things that we got from New Horizons? I feel like people are overlooking a lot of the really great things I feel New Horizons did to Animal Crossing. And I don't know. I guess I want to appreciate the game more than I feel it is being appreciated.
Yeah, true. I mean, think about it. We can sit, and I mean, at least we can do that, right? Let's look at the positive things here.
People went wild for that, so it was a great update for sure. So I guess my next question for both of you, does the lack of news make you feel like the New Horizons updates are over? And maybe we'll start with Nina here, since you tend to, you make the predictions that we're not getting any news.
Okay. I'm gonna hold out the tiniest sliver of hope that
yay.
that
Really?
maybe we'll see. Okay, here's my thinking. Let me go about this backwards. In Splatoon, when it's the final Splatfest or the final update, Nintendo at least tells that fandom that it's the final one.
Oh,
So I'm hoping that they give the Animal Crossing community that much respect by telling us when it's the last update. So that's my sliver of hope that possibly we'll get something else later. I don't know when, but I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like they would do that with this game.
Yeah.
And even like after that happened with Splatoon, we still saw some other Splatfests popped up.
right.
Some were like a returning one, some were just, the Mario themed one that was just like a one-off one. Really, that final Splatfest was really to determine like what direction are we going with for the next story in Splatoon 3. Like
Right.
that's I guess that's probably going to be their tradition from here on out with Splatoon games. Like it happened with the first one where the Splatfest determined which characters were what
Yeah.
in both in the story, like the main story between Callie and Marie. And so now this one has definitely determined we are in a world of chaos because my team, Team Chaos, we won that final Splatfest. But yeah, I can definitely see that happening with Animal Crossing where they do let us know, like, this is probably going to be the last thing. And I guess I'll go into mine, but I don't think the updates are done. I think they're just going to be small for a while longer. I don't know how much longer that is, but I still have it in my head that they have to be working on a big update. And unfortunately, I'm really starting to lean toward that space where I think it's going to be a paid update. And I say unfortunately because I know a lot of people in the Animal Crossing fan base would much rather get a free update rather than, a paid one. But I see Animal Crossing #2 best-selling game on the Switch console, over 30 million units sold. I don't see Nintendo just sitting by and not monetizing that further, I think they're sitting there thinking, there are a lot of people playing this game. It's probably time to do some paid DLC for this series and make even more money off of it. So, I don't know. I look at Nintendo kind of like it's a business, and I just feel like there's probably doing something that's going to net them a lot more money than a free update would. Yeah. So I guess, what do you think, Sergio?
Well, I'm gonna channel my inner Nina here, and I'm gonna say no. Big updates, I think they're over. If they didn't do one for the 1 year anniversary, or didn't really even hint at it, and also DC3, I just don't think there's anything like that in the works. We'll talk more about what we expect in the future updates, but yeah, I don't see anything big happening. Unfortunate, but I think that's the case, especially most of them are, or a lot of them are working on Splatoon 3, and that's their priority. I feel like if anything, Nintendo's gonna hold on to whatever they were planning to update just for the next mainline game.
I mean, like, not even like a third year Welcome Amiibo update situation like in New Leaf?
It's possible because we have that history, but honestly, I even think that's not gonna happen. I think they're done.
Man, well, I don't know. I guess my thinking about it is just like, we have. It's hard to put out two Animal Crossing games on a single console. We've never seen it outside of, like, spin offs, right? We got New Leaf, we got the spin off Happy Home Designer on 3DS, and then Wii U didn't really get a game. It just got another spin off, right?
Yes.
And so, with that sense, like, I feel like there needs to be something in between, because there's such a long wait time between Animal Crossing games, and I stand by the thought that Animal Crossing is meant to be a long-lasting, years and years game, and I don't think Nintendo thinks it makes sense to have them come out every single year. So,
Right.
and the Switch seems to have such a long life still ahead of it with all of the things that we're getting and all the stuff people are anticipating, So if we're waiting till what's next, I'm sensing another like 10-year wait for this game, if not a big update. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, I don't think Nintendo would sit by and let that happen without trying to get more money out of this franchise. So a paid update seems to make sense to me.
Yeah, yeah, good point.
I mean,
Yeah.
bring it. I'll take it. Yes, please.
And I guess I come from it from the point of, like, something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
So I do get kind of sad if it's like, absolutely no Animal Crossing stuff until whatever's beyond the Switch,
Right.
Because that's the feeling I get if we're waiting for the next game. Yeah. I get, so kind of bouncing off of this, since I kind of went into what I feel the future would look like, what do you think the future of New Horizons looks like from here, Sergio?
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be small updates, a couple new items here and there, or reissuing previous items that were limited time only. Nothing too major as far as the holidays go or the special events that we get. Maybe a few tweaks here and there, and a little promotion of that on Twitter and such. But again, I'm sorry, but I just don't think they're gonna do any more than that. I mean, a lot of people are really enjoyed New Horizons, and still are. We got our some of us got our fill already, kind of, but it sold really well, and there's still gonna be new people buying the game, and I feel like Nintendo doesn't really have to do any more than that for the game to keep selling. So I think they're pretty much done. They may even already have those items laid out and have like a roadmap, maybe for one more year or so of free small updates, and I think that's it.
Yeah. And that's something I know people have been, at least some people I've talked to have been suspecting, that like a lot of what's up next has already been made like a while ago, and they're
Right.
basically just rolling it out as the time comes. So, I mean, I definitely see that, but I don't know. I still just have to refuse. I need there to be something bigger down the line. But yeah, as far as that's concerned, though, I do think it's going to be smaller updates for a while more.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What are you thinking, Nina? How do you feel about the future of New Horizons here?
I'm still hoping to see like an update on the fall holidays. Hopefully the team understands how big that season is in Animal Crossing and maybe will bring us the last thing. I don't know. In the fall, who knows? But if it's not a future for New Horizons, I still want to see some spin-offs. And maybe an
Yes.
all Animal Crossing E3 in 2022.
One day we need that booth, magical Animal
Yes.
Crossing booth. Ever since you said that, I'm just like, come on, theme park potential, booth potential. It would just be perfect.
It really would.
So many good things.
Has to be a
and
Saturday.
Oh yeah. So KK Slider can play that
Yeah.
night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure, Sergio, you're with me. Spin-offs, KK Slider rhythm game.
Yes.
How
Yeah,
have they
the
not
real
made that
Guitar
yet?
Hero.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's the realest guitar hero.
I will send them the picture of the record store that I drew for KK.
Yes.
And that can be where the shop takes place or the game takes place inside the little shop. You know what? We've got this game going. We just need to start developing it.
If he had a little record store with like an open mic on like a Friday night or something, that would be so cute. Like all your villagers show up and start singing their favorite KK Slider songs.
Oh my gosh.
Adorable.
A sing along. A karaoke. Oh, that needs to happen.
Yeah. That's exactly what needs to happen. I would love it. All right. So, I mean, nothing for New Horizons, nothing really for Animal Crossing fans. The one little bit of news that I guess I can talk about since it happened in between episodes, KK Slider is now available at Build-A-Bears. So if you're interested in that one,
I forgot
Sergio,
about
I
this.
mean, yeah, we knew it was going to happen. Sergio and I, at least. I mean, what other character would they go with?
Right,
If it's
exactly.
After it was Isabelle and Tom Nook only, I was like, oh, it's just going to be it's going to be KK Slider, not
is-
just KK Slider, but it's the best one.
The
Right, Sergio?
definitive example of saving the best for last.
I wonder if there'll be more though.
I wonder if they'll make more for sure. I don't know. So, the other thing I want to say, I've already received mine. It's
why?
pretty cute. Posted pictures. I know, Sergio, you want yours so bad. He'll be there soon, I'm sure.
He's so mad
But
at you.
the guitar is removable. It's amazing, and you can just see him in all his naked glory. It's great. And I have him singing KK Disco.
Oh. I kind of
Nice.
wish
Yeah.
that the guitar was plastic. I'm surprised that it's all plushy.
Yeah, the whole thing is plushy. I actually don't mind. It's nice. I like that. I like it overall.
Okay.
But yeah, KK Sliders out there. If you are interested in any of the Build-A-Bears, at least the ones that are winter and summer, Tom Nooks and Isabel's, they are up on store.nintendo.com if you are in North America. I don't know if they actually ship to all of North America. I know it works in the US for sure. But they have them there for $44 instead of $51, a little discount, and it's because they don't have the sound chip in them, so you don't have to pay for that. And little pro tip, the shipping from Nintendo is a lot cheaper.
Wow.
So if you're looking to save money, that's the way to get them. They have both the styles now. I'm almost tempted to get the winter Isabelle because I like her way better than the summer Isabelle. Summer Tom Nook is fine. I do like I think the outfit works really well with him.
Yes.
But winter Isabelle's outfit is far superior to summer Isabelle's outfit in my view.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, once again, they're there for a little bit of a discount and a lot less of a shipping charge. So if you're interested in them, I'm sure KK Slider will pop up there eventually too. Right. And once again, I doubt he'll have the music box with him, but KK Slider was already cheaper on Build-A-Bear than the Tom Nook and Isabelle were.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm not sure exactly why.
I know why. Yeah, he's got no clothes.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. He's totally naked.
Though he did come with a guitar, so who knows?
Yeah, just a little guitar. The only clothes he needs. But yeah, I mean that's the news that we've got for Animal Crossing this week. Nothing else. Nintendo didn't want to give us anything. That said, we're probably gonna see like a small little update come somewhere around the end of this month, just because we are nearing the end of the latest batch of seasonal items and seasonal events. So I think they've gotta mention whatever thing they've got going on, you know? Yeah. So let's go ahead and hop into talking about the Nintendo E3 Direct itself and our thoughts on it. Though there was no Animal Crossing news, I'm sure there's other stuff to talk about in this, right? So I'm going to begin by asking both of you, what did you think of the Nintendo Direct? And Sergio, you can kick us off here.
All right, awesome. Well, I loved it. Flat out loved it. I feel like I almost want to play every game that was announced, the vast majority of them for sure. I mean, ironically,
Wow.
I'm not very interested on the last game they showed, Breath of the Wild 2. Again, it's because I haven't played the original. I kind of don't want to. I'm just not a big fan of open world games, but I'm happy for people that want it because it's been heavily expected for sure. But there were so many surprises. I could not have guessed how many there would be. Like, if you told me there was gonna be a new Metroid, a new WarioWare, a new Advance Wars, or at least like a remake of two of them, any of those three announcements would have been surprising enough. But we got three of those and more. So I was very surprised. I love this track for sure.
I'm right there with you, Sergio. I actually really liked it. And I think it was because we're getting a lot of the weird, wacky side titles from Nintendo that I feel have been missing, slash, I've been wanting, you know? And I don't know, I felt like it was a good mix of things, but also some of these were like really good callbacks to other games. Like
Mm.
like you mentioned, Advance Wars. Who would have thought that was ever going to happen
Yes.
again? You know, I honestly had given up on ever having hope for that. And now I'm just like, cool, people can play a fun little tactics game. I always really enjoy tactics games. I think Quantrell's listening now. I know you like Fire Emblem. I think it's worth giving Advance Wars a shot if you haven't
Absolutely.
already.
Yes.
Yeah. And then even like Super Monkey Ball, that collection, I was just
Oh,
like, yeah, this is the weird stuff that I need in my life. It has the little pool mini game on there. I honestly, like everything I know about pool came from Super Monkey Ball. So I don't know. For me, it had the strange stuff. And of course, I've been saying it for months now. The WarioWare was like my last
yes.
real need on the Switch. That, yeah, I mean, I guess I could now ask for Rhythm Heaven, right? But
Yeah.
WarioWare was right there. And I was like, yes, give that to me.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. And oh, yeah, I'm ready. Nina, what did you think about this one?
I was yawning through the whole thing.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. I was writing down, so I always do this during directs. I always write down the titles as they come just to like jog my memory later. And I'll write down release dates of the ones that look interesting to me.
Mhm.
And I have 2 pages here of titles that are being released. And I underlined 4.5 of them that sort of interest me, possibly. And I was being kind with my underlines. So this was not for me, but I'm
Oh.
very glad it was for you guys.
That's pretty amazing. I actually, like, right after the direct, after I like got off of streaming and everything, I went through it like rapid fire and was just like, all right, let's get my full list here of things. So let's actually get into that. Let's talk about what games stood out for you. And Nina, I am so interested in what your
Yes.
four and a
Yes.
half games are. So let us know.
Well, let's start with my half of a game. And that's Mario Party Superstars because I enjoyed playing Mario Party online with you guys. And I might end up buying this, but it depends on how bored I am that weekend, like when it releases. I don't know. I have spent full blown money on Mario Party games before, and they never kind of live up to how much fun I want them to be. So maybe because this one's online, it's gonna be awesome. But I need to watch the Treehouse. I'm on the fence with this one.
Okay. Well, I think what needs to happen is we need to have another Super Mario Party night
It's true.
together.
We
Yes.
do.
Because that was really fun.
That was
when
fun.
we all played together. So maybe if we know that that's going to be a thing, maybe that half point will get you to a full point.
I know, but we can just play that game.
I mean, yeah, but like that game is like it's fun, but the older Super Mario parties have real dice that roll 10.
Okay.
Only fake dice roll 6s. Come on. That's not a real dice.
Okay, we'll try it. We'll try it.
So yeah, let's play a little bit of that, and once we're over that one, we can be like, yeah, we do need another Mario Party. Maybe that's the cure right there.
All right, deal. The next one on my list was, which surprised me, Metroid Dread looks really cool. It kind of reminded me of Alien Isolation and Portal, because it's kind of spooky but still fun, action-y. I don't know. I was surprised that this looked interesting to me because I've actually never played a Metroid game. So maybe this will be my first.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I'm stopping and talking about any of them that we share on this list too, because my list is pretty long. So Metroid, I decided this is the summer that I get into Metroid. I've been holding off on playing like Super Metroid until like I'm off in California or so. But I think that's going to be my first game that I play. And I also have like never really played a Metroid game, at least like outside of the first one where you just die a bunch because it's really hard, right? So yeah, I feel like this is really cool, and I feel like this is coming out at a good time because I'm like now willing to get into the series that I've been afraid of getting into because they get less news than Animal Crossing fans do.
Yeah.
So it'll be tough to be part of that fandom. I mean, if I like them, in the end.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Sergio, did you have anything to say about Metroid Dread?
Oh, I think that was the biggest surprise of E3, and definitely one of the games I'm looking forward to the most. It's funny that it kind of got announced as Metroid 5 before we get Prime 4, which I thought was pretty funny. But then, they kind of explained it's a throwback too. Metroid Dread was heavily rumored since back in the Nintendo DS days. So this has been in the oven for quite a while. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I was really excited. I went and watched one reaction after this. It was Arlo's, and I was like, I know Arlo's going to be going wild over this Metroid Dread announcement, and it was funny. Jackie had a good laugh listening to that. Yeah. So what's next on your list, Nina?
The next one is WarioWare. Never played one of those either, and it looks like it could be a fun little time waster. But I'm wondering if it's going to be a good intro to the series, or if I need to go play other ones. I don't know. Again, I need to watch the Treehouse. Really? Okay, good.
Yeah, with WarioWare games, all of them are great.
Yes.
Every single one. They've never had a miss.
Okay.
Like literally perfect series, all through and through. They're just that. They're just like wacky little micro games, which are smaller than mini games.
Yeah, I noticed he was saying that.
Yeah, so they are tiny little bite-sized chunks, and it's super easy to just get into a loop of like, oh, I could so do better than that.
Okay.
Because you can just keep building off your scores and everything. But it's fun. It's got really funny, out of this world storylines. The characters are a hoot. So I think you could honestly play any of them and just be pretty satisfied.
Okay, well, we'll see. I'm kind of on the fence about that one too. But then, of course, the last one, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 / What Happened to Link's Arm / How has he turned into Kitty Pryde and he's now phasing through rocks. I want all of these answers.
Yes, I am all about this sequel. I think during my live stream, The only thing I said once I saw that 2022 date, I was like, I don't know, you guys. I've seen a 2019 date turn into a 2020 date real fast. So I am not confident, just by the way they talked about it, that it's coming in 2022. I think it might get pushed even further. So we'll see. I'll gladly take a surprise next year, but it sounded more like a 2023 game to me, and that's just, my unbiased experiences.
Yeah.
It's totally biased.
It's been a tough year. I'll let them take 2023. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we have to wait, I guess we'll wait. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sergio, do you want to go next with your list here?
Sure. Yeah, Metroid Dread was the biggest surprise. And then after that, I would honestly say WarioWare, Get It Together. It looks a lot of fun. I was not expecting WarioWare to come back. Or if it did, I wouldn't have expected it to be shown at E3. But this was awesome. I love the series. It looks a lot of fun. I think, based on the information on Nintendo's website, it's not going to have online play, which is a little disappointing, assuming that's the case. But these are a blast doing local multiplayer, or even on your own. I mean, they're a lot of fun. They have a lot of very quirky scenarios in different art styles too. They are a lot of fun to play for sure. And then after that, also getting the Advance Wars 1 and 2 remade for the Switch. That was another big surprise. I think, Chuy, you were kind of hinting that based on this, we can, maybe start asking for a new F-Zero, a new Mario Kart, a new Mole Mania. Like, anything can happen now if Advance Wars is coming back. That was a big surprise for sure.
Yeah, the thing that makes, honestly, where I was going with that is I almost feel like we could ask for a new Advance Wars after this, because the title was like reboot. Like, they are rebooting this series, So to me, I was under the impression maybe we're getting like Advance Wars 3, but I don't know. For now, I'll just be happy we got WarioWare. That's all I really needed going into this.
Oh, it's Reboot Camp. It's a good little pun. I just looked it up on my write-down list.
Yeah, they've got a lot of little puns going on with it. And, just the word reboot in there, I'm just like, ooh, this is interesting. And I did really like the new, art style. It really does look like built from the ground up.
Yes.
Different from what it was before.
I liked guessing which country the little characters you were fighting against were supposed to be from. The art was adorable.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. It's a cute game and very strategic.
Nice. I also really like Mario Party Superstars. And you know what happened? I was thinking about this. I think Nintendo got a lot of us. They got us good. Because some of us, I definitely bought Super Mario Party as soon as the online was announced, and I heard that it worked well, right? I bought it full price digital. And I thought they were going to announce DLC for that game. A couple of boards, maybe new mini games or items. $20 at the most. But of course, Nintendo said we can make more money. We just kind of hash a new game out, right? Recycle some of the old mini games and boards. It works. I'm gonna get it. So they got me good for sure.
They were like, "Oh, you guys want online? Okay."
Well, we like I said, we'll play Super Mario Party in the lead up to this, and then we'll finally get a really good Mario Party.
Yes.
Because it looks like, the boards in these are going to be amazing. All the N64 ones are really fun. So I'm hoping there's some more surprises for it. I would really love, I guess, that game mode in Mario Party 3, the dual battle mode.
Yes.
That would be really fun to have in this game. Basically, you got a little villain monster partner with you, and you would run around the board and try to eat each other. It was great.
Yeah. And based on the footage they showed on the treehouse, a lot of the really good mini games are coming back, which is awesome. And they made a point to mention that all the mini games work with just regular buttons. In case you are playing with a Switch Lite, you don't need an extra Joy-Con. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was considerate. And the other big surprise for me was Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. They're bringing back Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2. This series has been through, they've tried a few things, and most of them haven't really worked. The first two games are arguably the best ones, and they're getting remade, they're getting ported to the Switch, and it looks like they're coming back with all of the mini games, which are some of the most fun parts of that game. I mean, the single player is a lot of fun already, but the mini games are amazing, right, Chewy?
Yeah, these like you said, the first two Super Monkey Balls are just like top tier
Yes.
video gaming right there. And the mini games are great, but now I'm just like, maybe it's time to finally get into speedrunning and speedrun Super Monkey Ball, because I've watched so many of those. Those speedruns are amazing. They're so wild. So maybe that's something I get into.
Nice.
This one surprised me because for some reason I grew up thinking that Super Monkey Ball was a PlayStation game. Did it used to be a PlayStation game?
I mean, it's Sega, and
Oh, okay,
at this point,
okay.
they basically put it everywhere,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's something that could pop up really on anything, but yeah, I mean, that's it.
Okay.
Super Monkey Ball.
Good. I feel a little better because I was like, wait, why have I never played this game? Like, I didn't even think this was Nintendo, and so now it's feeling a little more put together in my brain. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, I had them on the GameCube, and they are delightful.
Nice. But yeah, that's basically my list. But again, I want all of those games, and I want even a couple more. I love today was awesome.
I agree. I thought you all listed a lot of the ones that I really liked for sure. I have a couple more on my list that you didn't mention, but I'll do a recap here. WarioWare, Get It Together, definitely one I'm into. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Mania, I'm getting it. Metroid Dread, I'm going to see how I feel about Super Metroid, but I'm hyped to try to become a Metroid fan now.
Nice.
Mario Party Superstars, yes.
Yes.
I have so many fun memories with Mario Party. It's hard not to get any of them. Advance Wars 1 and 2, the reboot camp, perfect. Really excited to revisit those. Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel, whatever the title is. I really thought they were going to show it to us today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not. And then the ones that were on my list that you both didn't mention, Life is Strange, the remastered collection plus True Colors. I guess Square Enix owns that now, right? I think
Yes.
they're coming from Square Enix.
Correct.
I have always been really interested in these games. I played, I think, a bit of the first chapter of the very first one, so this is definitely a collection I'm interested in. I think they're more like narrative stories, right? And you kind of have some control over how they go. And
Okay.
those I tend to have fun with those. And this one I've heard is really good, so I'm interested in that. And then this one, it's not really a new game. I mean, it is a new game because it's not out yet, but we've known about it. Mario Golf is getting free updates later. I wonder what those are going to be. So I thought, you know what? I've already pre-ordered Mario Golf. It's going to be downloaded on my Switch by the end of this week, whenever that goes live. And then next Friday, we're going to have some fun with that game, right, Sergio?
Yes, cannot wait.
Yeah. And the side modes just look wackier than ever.
Yes.
The race mode, the battle mode, that just looks like that's what golf should be in real life. Come on. That's everybody's thinking it. I'm just saying it.
Look, that can be part of Haken. We'll go play golf and try and race each other.
Yeah, Mario Golf Racers. It's the racing game that who needs Mario Kart 9 when you got Mario Golf?
Don't even say that. I'm going to throw a golf club at you.
Honestly, I'm at the point where I'm like, I want it to be Donkey Kong Racing before it's Mario Kart 9. Just be like a spiritual reboot of Diddy Kong Racing.
Yes.
No, if we're going to get anything, it should be Dixie Kong Racing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, change it. Dixie Kong Racing. That's what it should be. All right. The last little question I have for you both is, what was missing from the Direct for you? And I'll start off here. Me, it was just that actual release date slash release window for Zelda, because that 2022, just getting a year, that's too vague for me now to believe it. Ever since Animal Crossing, I can't go back to believing those things. So I can see it turning into 2023 at E3 next year. So that's what was missing for me. Just an actual solidified, like, you're getting this fall 2022, you know? Yeah. So, Sergio, I guess what was missing for you?
Kind of along your answer, I think I'm very surprised how little Zelda it had, considering it's the 35th anniversary. They basically confirmed no other ports are coming to the Switch. Like you said, they said they're aiming for 2022 for Breath of the Wild 2. I don't think that's going to happen.
Doesn't strike any confidence.
Yeah, right. And then, they announced a little Game & Watch that has 3 Zelda games in it. They look pretty cool. It's a nice little device, but I expected a lot more. I expected maybe a new Zelda game, at least maybe a free online Four Swords game for Nintendo Switch Online, at least another port. But no, I mean, at this point, I'm not even expecting like a Zelda Direct later on in the year. I think they would rather try to push Breath of the Wild 2, but even then, I don't think they're going to make it.
Yeah, and you would think, like, of all the things, like, at least Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, like,
Yeah.
they were throwing Wii U ports all over the
Yeah.
place for the past years, and then all of a sudden, when it's Zelda, they're just quiet.
Yeah.
I find that pretty hard to believe.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Hyrule Warriors expansion, the Skyward Sword in HD, the Game & Watch, and Breath of the Wild 2, but somehow that doesn't seem like enough. It's weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, in the past, we would kind of get this for E3, where there's just, like, some strange things missing, and now I'm just like, is there a September Direct coming up? Is there going to be some big things that we're like, why didn't they tell this to us at E3, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say they did end by saying that they're always working on new games. And I mean, yeah, of course they are. That's what Nintendo does. And so while we didn't hear about things that I know people are anticipating now, I'm sure we'll hear about it at some point, you know? There's no way. I believe wholeheartedly they're definitely working on a Mario Kart thing right now.
Yeah.
Yes, they've come out with like side things in the meantime, like the mobile game Mario Kart Tour and then Mario Kart Live.
Yes.
Which
That's
is
Mario
your
Kart
new
9.
Switch Mario Kart. Yeah, that's well, Mario Kart 10, I think,
Yeah.
because the mobile game is 9. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, like, while that stuff comes out, I mean, we saw that with Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing got 3 different spin-offs on the way to New Horizons. So, you know, there are teams. Lots of people work at Nintendo, and lots of people are making games at Nintendo. So even if you didn't see, you know, something you were hoping to see right now, I think, you know, we'll get it eventually. And I don't know. I guess that's just my way of saying it's not going to be too bad once we finally hear about it. Yeah. I guess, where were we? What was missing from the Direct? Sergio, you went over yours. Nina, what was missing for you?
So I've got a strangely enough also where, like, for some reason we seem to be lacking a lot of Mario from this Direct for me. I know that there's Mario Golf and Mario Party and WarioWare and Mario Rabbids, but it's hard to put my finger on it. I don't know. It still felt like we were missing either Mario or a very Nintendo feeling. Like it wasn't very celebratory Direct to me. It felt very reserved. Possibly because of all of E3 is reserved this year. But earlier this weekend, I watched the Xbox panel live with some streamers, and it blew my mind. So I don't know. I wonder if you guys are right. Like, maybe Nintendo is just tired of playing the E3 game and would rather do their own directs and are saving things for later. I don't know. But to me, in my mind, Nintendo did not win E3 this year, if there is a
Wow.
winner. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're giving it to Xbox with that.
Yeah, that's it.
Sea
That's
of
it.
Thieves and Disney. I'm killed. I can't even explain to you how excited I am, and also sad that Disney is taking over my only game that I'm good at PvP. So now it doesn't even count as like a cool game for me to be playing anymore. But look, Jack Sparrow. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And I guess, we should mention the obvious. Animal Crossing was missing at this
Yes.
E3. And I gotta be honest with you, I feel like that's the norm a lot of the time.
Oh, man.
And it's such a bummer that that's the norm just because, like, E3 2018, nothing for Animal Crossing. And then, bam, 3 months later, they're like, oh, yeah, we're working on this. It's coming out 2019. And you're just like, really? You couldn't tell us before? I think our wait would have hurt a lot more hearing it back then, though, too. So we basically only got it at E3 2020 because it was on its way,
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
before
Yeah.
that, the last time we saw it was E3 25, and that announcement was Amiibo Festival. So Animal Crossing, unfortunately, gets the short end of the stick on the E3 train a lot of the times. It's not there too often. When it is, we're going to be excited about that. That's our bread and butter right there. We love Animal Crossing.
No, but for the record, in slight spoiler, just a tiny one, but in the Treehouse, they did show a little bit of Animal Crossing in the WarioWare game. So there is an Animal Crossing micro game there. We did see Animal Crossing today, but not the way we wanted to.
I'm going to throw another golf club.
Yeah, and Nintendo did tweet out a little clip of it. It's maybe not the Animal Crossing content we wanted, but it's what we've got.
No.
Yeah, so, E3s, they come and go. The one good thing is, like, a lot of companies before would wait for E3 to be their big announcement thing, but Nintendo has always kind of changed that with their directs. So
Yes.
we'll get more directs throughout the years. And, one of those are bound to have the announcements that we actually want. For now, I guess we'll just wait a little bit longer for whatever's coming to Animal Crossing. But I will say, overall, I'm not confident it's going to be big at this point. Could be a lot of work that they're putting into something bigger for the future. Or if you're Sergio, there's nothing going on. And it's just small stuff from here on out. So let's go ahead and hop into our Haken's Islander Corner. For those of you who don't know, every single week we ask our patrons on Patreon a question and read their answers out loud here on the show. This week's question was obvious. What did you think of the E3 Nintendo Direct? And I guess we'll go me, then Nina, then Sergio here.
Okay.
And I really wanted to say this first one. Quantrell Taval, meh. That's his answer.
Oh, man.
Yep, just a meh for that Direct. Nothing too special. So, yeah.
Danica, it does. I think it does. All right, Danica says it had a lot of cool games announced, especially for Metroid fans. Unfortunately, Animal Crossing did not get mentioned in the slightest, which was a bummer. I do truly think that we will get updates in the near future, even though it wasn't featured. Side note, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot stood out to me.
Nice.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z.
That's the one that's already out on other consoles, right, Sergio?
Yes, it's an awesome game. Compiles a lot of things from Dragon Ball. It's pretty good.
Cool.
My only Dragon Ball Z memories is my little brother watching them after school, and every time I'd walk in the room, they'd just be yelling. And then I'd walk in the room later, and they were still yelling. Like, that's all they do in that game.
Yeah,
That's
basically
super accurate. Yeah. Nice. So Kelly said, it wasn't horrible, but not super exciting either. Disappointed that there was nothing about Animal Crossing, but the Mario Party Superstar announcement and Breath of the Wild 2 info were redeeming factors for me. I hope we hear some Animal Crossing news at the end of the month. It's possible. We should definitely be hearing about at least the next update. Even if it's a small one, we should hear something soon.
Yeah. Or I think it'd be fun if they experimented with this one and just like stealth dropped the update and you have to play to figure out what it is.
Yes.
I think it's time for that. So Jill said it was very underwhelming, but I do think Mario Party Superstars looks cool. Some of those boards and mini games are classics, so it's awesome to see them remastered. And while I love that they added online to the latest Mario Party, you can play online with random players, which is what I wanted and in this one you'll be able to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I really like that they wanted to do that. And they have a save feature for this one, too.
Yeah.
With Super Mario Party, if you get booted from the game, you all just lose whatever progress you made.
Yeah.
So you start them from the beginning. But it's nice they thought of that and gave us a little bit of, a break here.
Let's see. Pearly Girl says, I preferred the wholesome direct.
How do you feel, Nina? Did you prefer the wholesome direct over the Nintendo direct?
I
know
wish,
you weren't a fan of each.
I wish I preferred either. I'm really upset that I preferred the Xbox Direct. What the world? No, we gotta talk about the wholesome direct sometime. It just didn't. I don't know.
That's all right.
I think you just did.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't give you Disney and Sea of Thieves in that one, so
Apparently
it's
that's all
hard
I
to beat
need. Just give me Johnny Depp.
Nice. So Yuri Young said, I play very few video games and was totally unfamiliar with E3 before you all talked about it. I absolutely expected them to talk about one of their top grossing games until Chuy said in the past they didn't mention Animal Crossing New Horizons, and then announced the game in September. I don't understand most of what Nintendo does, it seems. I was pretty uninterested in the entire Direct, but I enjoyed watching it with Chuy, Sergio, and the Haken community because you all are awesome and would make even watching paint dry fun. P.S. Nina too, she just wasn't there today because she was busy being awesome elsewhere.
Oh, that's so sweet. I guess I forgot to explain that. I was doing my camp at school, so I just finished catching up on the direct, and I still need to watch the tree houses. So sorry for an after explanation.
That's all right. Cool. I guess, am I next again already?
Yes.
Cool. For the Whim said, it had moments where I got really excited. Mario Golf, Breath of the Wild 2, and a couple of other random ones. But other than that, I was kind of bored. I thought they were going to do something more exciting for Smash Bros. And I feel like they didn't talk about some of the more exciting things they have coming up. Why do we need to wait another year until we get more Zelda? Unbelievable. Smash Bros, Tekken, New Fighter. I'm not ever thrilled about the fighting games being the new fighters. I want Epona now, since you mentioned it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, Epona is the fighter for me.
Look, as soon as they added Piranha Plant, they opened the doors for anyone. So
They did, and they're not leaving those doors open. They gotta just let everybody come in.
I know.
I think that's why Breath of the Wild is taking so long because they're focusing on Epona. So I think around November we should see that happen.
Okay, good.
I mean, obviously, Epona needs to fly now.
Pegasus Epona.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. All right, where are we? Pip says, well, although I wasn't a big fan of this direct, I did see a couple games I'm excited to play again on the Switch. I'm looking forward to Super Monkey Ball and Mario Party. Yes, I'm going to pay $60 to have them again. $60.
They get us so good.
They like their money, don't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. And Shy Lesbian Eel said, I didn't expect much from that direct overall that would fit my taste in games, like life sims and farming sims. The new Rune Factory was already announced, and a new Story of Seasons came out not too long ago this year, too. Having said that, I did expect at least something for Animal Crossing. The only thing I was really excited about was WarioWare. So overall, not the best direct for me personally. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they did touch on those series, but yeah, like you said, one was already announced, one is out kind of already. So, yeah, the Wholesome Direct had a few of those too. They look pretty good, right, Nina?
I mean, I can say, yeah, I think if this wasn't for you and you're looking for more of that life sim stuff, the Wholesome Direct is definitely the one to check out for you.
Right.
So, yeah, look them up. They do a lot of really, cute, cozy games. That's basically their focus. So, if that's what you're looking for, that's going to be the place to find them. I always find games that I'm pretty interested in there.
You got to
Yes.
make sure you have Steam, though, because a lot of them are not on the Switch.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and that just comes from like the nature of like trying to get those Nintendo dev kits. It's probably pretty difficult.
Yeah.
And they seem to be to some extent picky about it. Others you're just like, why is this game on the Switch?
Yeah.
Who knows? I guess they paid a lot of money probably to make that happen. But
Like the calculator.
yeah, I mean it's not even Animal Crossing calculator. That's
Yeah,
top
right?
tier calculating right there. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want the episode to end? Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to our Discord. Just follow the link in the description, and you can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio, Nina, and me. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/ChuiPlaysNintendo. You can support our show with just $1, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chuy Plays. We really appreciate the support and put your money towards some great things on the show. Tuned in on YouTube? The comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. What did you think of the E3 Nintendo Direct? If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is Wild Production, brought to you by Chuy, Sergio, Nina, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you all next time.